Hello everyone and welcome to another Pokemon Trading Card Game live video. My name is Jamie and today I'll be taking you through another deck which has come out from the most recent expansion, which of course is Journey Together. But as always, just before we do go into the video, if you do like the content and you want to see some more content related to the Pokemon Trading Card Game, then as always, hit that subscribe button and of course like this video. So this is a deck that I've been testing quite intensively, I would say, for the last week or so. So it uses a concept that we've already looked at before, which is Blaziken EX. This is a Stage 2 Fire type and has this ability here, Seething Spirit, which once during your turn you may look for a basic energy card, which is in your discard pile, and attach it to one of your Pokemon. So there could be any energy basically. It also does have this attack here, which is pretty notable. It's worth keeping in mind. Smolder Assault, 200 damage, that's not bad. And during the next turn, your opponent can't, or when you can't use this attack again. So, but if you do have two Blaziken, what you can do is just retreat this Blaziken, go into the next Blaziken, and then just reattach the energy with two basically Seething Spirits. So yeah, I mean they don't stack, so you can just use as many of them as you can, or from as many Blaziken as you have. So that's worth keeping in mind. However, Blaziken is not the main attacker within this deck. The main attacker that we're looking at is this card here, which is a Weavile. So this is a Water type, Stage 1, 100 HP, and it has its attack Slash for 40 damage. Worth keeping in mind. But it's this attack here, Hail Claw, that we're looking at. Does 70 damage, and so you discard all energy from this Pokemon. However, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. So, having done a little bit of research and looking through things like Limitless, for example, it's amazing how many decks don't play switching cards. They really rely on things like Rescue Balls, like Future Boosters, like Latias for Skyliner. So many decks at the moment aren't playing any switch or any cards to, or even things like Professor Tauros. They're not really playing too many of those these days. There is the occasional Prime Catcher, but even still, like, I think that most of the retreating in decks these days comes from just like manually retreating, free retreaters, or even just things like tools, for example. So the idea of this deck is really utilizing the fact that not many people are playing switch, and we can just lock them in the active spot with Hail Claw basically. And if we have two Blaziken, we can just repeat the cycle. So we discard the energy, but we use Seething Spirit with two Blazikens to get the energy back onto Weavile, and we just keep going like that and just repeat the loop basically. That is the idea. So in order to maintain the lock, what other Pokemon do we have? Well, they will eventually break out of the lock because you have to knock it out. You have to knock a Pokemon out. So so that is why we play a 2-1 line of Dusclops. I haven't really felt that Dusknoir is really necessary in this deck. You could play it if you want to. I mean, with Blaziken, if you have Smolder Assault, for example, and you've got Dusknoir, I mean, that's like, what, 330, that knocks out most things in the format. But I haven't really felt that it's been necessary. I think just a 2-1 line is absolutely fine. So with Curse Blast, we can knock out this Pokemon and put 5 damage counters on one of our opponent's Pokemon. So the idea basically here is when we get into within 50 HP, when our opponent's active Pokemon has 50 HP left and we're about to knock it out, we can bosses up something else. Something sitting on the bench like Pheasantipity or even another EX basically. And then just use Dusclops to finish it off basically. And then we maintain the lock that way. And doing that 3 times, in theory, should win you the game. So that is the idea. That's when we have Dusclops in there. Other Pokemon we've also got a really, really important as well, a 2-1-2 line of Pidgeot, just for quick search. And this just searches out basically anything that we need, so that's when we have that in there as well. I've also tested things like Budu in here, I've tested things like Pheasantipity as well. What I found is like you really, really need the bench space, because you need to have 2 Weavile, you need to have 2 Blaziken, or you can have like, I think even like, and then 1 Pidgeot, for example. And then that's 5. And then the last spot would be for your Dusclops. So if you have Pheasantipity, that will kind of clog up your bench a little bit, so that's why I haven't got it in here. But you could also play it as well. I tried playing a bit of like Tauros, for example, and Pheasantipity, but it was just a bit clunky. So for that reason, I haven't played, or I haven't got Pheasantipity in here as well. But you could play it if you want to. Trainer line is looking a little bit like this. So because we're recycling, we do get knocked out, especially in the early game quite a lot. So we want to try and use Super Rod to get our, especially our Weavile back into the deck, and just in case they break the lock as well. It's also worth keeping in mind. As well, if we also use Dusclops, we need to recycle that, so that's why we have a high count here of Super Rod We've also got here one Pal Pad to utilize 2 bosses as well. So especially late game, we can try and get more bosses back into the deck if we need to. So a spec of choice is Grand Tree. So we're playing a lot of stage 2, so Grand Tree is very, very helpful. If we can get a Grand Tree out and we can get a Pidgeot out, Pidgeot will just help us search out basically the rest of the deck. So that's why we have Grand Tree, that's the A-spec of choice. Do just be careful with Grand Tree, especially if you're playing against something like Dragapult. By putting this down, they can also use Grand Tree as well, so they can get the Dragapults out quicker, so something you have to certainly be careful of. So, TM Evolution, that's pretty straightforward. 3 Rare Candy as well, just because of our stage 2s. 4 Buddy-Buddies, so everything is searchable in our deck, I believe, with Buddy-Buddy. So Duskull is searchable, Torchic, Pidgeys, Sneasels, etc, etc, so that's a no-brainer. And then I think the rest is pretty standard. We have 2 Earthen Vessels in there should we need to, and we're not too heavy on tools here, so we've gone with 2 Arven, and the focus here really is research. So I know that we're relying on the stage 2s, but we do really need to get that push in order to try and attack as quick as possible. So ideally what you want to be doing, especially if you're going first, is by turn 2 attacking with Weavile. So the idea will be turn 1 you just set up, and then turn 2 you put Weavile down, and between the 2 turns you attach 2 energies and then you go with Hail Claw, so that would be the idea. So that is pretty much the trainer line there, and this is the energy line. So we've got 5 water in there and just 3 fire. So 3 fire allows us to attack with Blaziken if we want to. We can finish things off or just kind of take down things that are giving us a bit of trouble, especially in the later game. That's pretty good. But the focus here, as you can see, is of course on Weavile. So good thing worth noting as well. So Weavile has 2 water energy, that is a requirement. But Blaziken, on the other hand, is a fire and a single water. So we can just use 1 fire and a water, and then we can attack with Small Assault if we want to. That is an option as well. So that's the idea of the deck. That is what I've been testing as of late. So yeah, the strategy is pretty much that. Set yourselves up and use Weavile, use Hail Claw, lock your opponent as they start to get towards that 50 range in terms of 50 HP. Then we boss something else up and we finish it off with Dusclops. Finish that Pokemon off with Dusclops, that is the idea. But that is the theory, and that's what I've been testing, but let's go put it into practice and let's play a game with it. Okay, well let's see if we go first or second. Oh, we can choose, let's go first. So, we run a lot of buddies, we run Nest Ball, makes sense. Let's see. Cool, okay, yeah, Duskull can go first, that's fine. This is not a good hand to go first though with. It's not very not very good. Oh, we do get a mulligan, okay. So there is hope. Okay, cool, nice, okay, sure. Let's see. I mean, we really want to play Arven. Turn 1, Buddy-Buddy, no Torchic, okay, that's fine. We do need a Sneasel though. Yeah, we need a Sneasel. Oh, nice! Okay, that was a great top deck. That was a great top deck. Cool. Board. Cool, yeah, that's fine. The next time we push with research, that's good. Yeah, just see what else is this. Grand Tree in there, Pidgeotto's in there, Combusken in there. Candy. Cool, yeah, nice. I think that's mostly everything. Okay. Cool, that's fine. Nice, okay. That turned out pretty nicely in the end, so. That's fine. If they go for a big push here, if they knock out Duskull, that actually might help us, because then we can put Sneasel in the active spot and then go for the paralysis on turn 2. Let's see. I mean, it's very likely, let's just see what supporter card they play, but it's very likely they will get a turn 1 knockout, and that's okay. That is actually okay. We'll take that. And then we can evolve next turn, push with research. And then we are ditching a wreck. Oh, interesting. Okay. I really thought they would push more than that. Okay, so let's take Weavile down. Alright. Arven, what's Arven going to get? We can evolve and get Arven to there. You know what? We're not in a rush. We're not in a rush at the moment to push. We could go Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball, no, that wouldn't work because we have the. Okay, so let's get the. Oh, we don't have a team. Oh, we don't have a team evolution. Oh no, should have checked that. Okay, never mind. So let's get Ultra Ball. And we have a Rare Candy in hand. Okay. Yeah, that could work. We'll do that. We'll do that. We'll make something out of nothing. So we'll just ditch those two. Grab a Pidgeot. There we go. Rare Candy, the Pidgeot. There we go. That's nice. And then, quick search. We'll get ourselves another research. Oh, we can get a Grand Tree. Grand Tree might work. Because we can get... let's just go back. And they're a basic deck as well, so they're not relying on evolutions. But let's just check if there's a Combusken. That could work. And then next turn... Alright, that could work. Cool. And then next turn we push with... we get a research or something, so... Cool. Combusken. Yep. Cool. And then... Oh, let's get nice. Cool, okay. Nice, and then we can have access to that as well. Let's Heating Spirit. Let's put this on the active, just in case for next turn we have to retreat or it gets knocked out, you know, just to give ourselves a bit of versatility, so to say. So we only run one Combustion, so that means that we can't put that get that Torchic into a Blaziken because we only have one Combusken in there. But that's okay. That's okay. We can get something with Pidgeot. Well, we can get like a research and just push with research. Okay, interesting deck. Okay, it's a Belly Vault, I think. Belly Vault Raging. Okay, yeah, I think I know it. Okay, cool. That's fine. We'll take that. In fact, that makes it a little bit easier for us because we don't have to retreat that anymore. Cool, that happens with bench space. So now we need a Buddy, we can get on the Duskull and a Sneasel. That's how that works. Cool, good top deck. Nice. Quick search. Let's get a... let's get a bosses. Let's get a research here. And let's push with research. And hopefully we get Buddy-Buddy. Nice, we do get a Duskull though. That's fine. Cool. Oh, well, they just conceded. Interesting. Alright, maybe they figured the lock was coming. I don't know. I don't know. So, but very inconclusive. Either way, gives you a bit of an idea as to how the deck sets up and how to play a little bit. But we'll play another match anyway because, yeah, I just want to play I want to lock someone. So let's go play another match. Okay, so let's see if we go first or second. See what they choose. They want the coin flip. Either works. I'm going to go first. That's fine. If we draw Arven, we can get buddies and things like that. So that's also fine. No biggie on my part. Ooh, we do have... Oh, we got Arven there as well. That's fine. Come on. There we go. Nice. Cool. So Arven there. Double Nest Ball. And then we've got also Team Evolution there as well. Yeah, I think it's not too bad. Not too bad at all. I'll have to be careful though because they do have an opening. I mean, they've opened with Buddy as well. So that's something to keep in mind. We won't be able to Rare Candy next turn, I presume. Unless we put the focus, yeah, let's just think if we get Dusclops as well. But let's see. See how this plays out. Cool. So yeah, things like Grand Tree, for example, you need to be a bit careful in this matchup with it, just because, as I said, with this, you want to make sure that you don't allow them to evolve their, get their Drag Pulse out. So let's start with Double Nest Ball. So Pidgey is the obvious choice. We've got 3/3 there. Anything else to see? Cool. Nice. Just to check the lines. Pidgeotto's in there. I don't see any Combusken. Okay, that's good to know. Alright. Oh, it's because it's in our hand, that's why. Cool. Let's go with another Nest Ball. Let's go with the Sneasel. Any energy it had? No, that's fine. Okay. What do we have now? We've got a Rare Candy. Alright. I'm thinking here, just on the basis that we might get item locked, I'm thinking here just to Ultra Ball. And then we can ditch two things here and get a... We can't because we have Rare Candy and how we can't use that next turn. That wouldn't make sense. Okay, that doesn't make sense. Let's Buddy-Buddy. Let's get that. And let's get a Torchic. Let's get a Sneasel. Cool, it's a nice setup. I think that's okay. Alright, cool. Nice. And we'll see what we... it says Pal Pad was... what do we do? Oh, because Arven, that's why. Okay. Alright, nice. Iono, interesting. Okay. Cool, we got a Pidgeotto. That's fine. Just thinking... Okay, can hit for 30. Yeah, that could work. Cool. With 60 HP, we really want to try and protect our, especially with Dragapults, we want to protect our Pidgeys and Torchics here. That we do definitely want to be doing. So, Iono, let's put Pidgeotto down. That's good. Take that on Sneasel. Cool. Iono. Cool, Grand Tree. Oh, Combusken's it is in deck. Okay, there we go. Nice. That wasn't bad. That wasn't bad at all. They probably will target that for next turn, but as long as we get the lock, that could work. Okay. Let's go with Combusken. And then we'll go with Blaziken. So, nice. Item locked, we can't do that. Okay, so if they knock out the active, that's fine. They'll probably want to knock out, I presume, the Torchic here. So we will need to get another one down in order to maintain the lock. Because we need two Blazikens in theory. But let's see. If not, next turn... okay, we can't evolve our... So Grand Tree specifically with basic Pokemon. Well, you have to search for a stage 1 Pokemon basically. So so we can't search for a stage 1 because we have Pidgeotto, so that wouldn't work. So we need to try and get our Pidgeot. But you know what? We can lock them a turn. We can lock them a turn, I think. So if they get Dragapult active, that opens up items, although I'm not really working with too much at the moment, but it does open up the option. Yeah, so even with one Blaziken, with just one Blaziken, as long as we're attaching from hand, we can still maintain the lock. And we do have Earthen Vessel in hand as well, so we can. It's not all about two Blazikens. Let's see. See what they want. Maybe they just lead with Badu again. I don't know. Doesn't look like they're going for Dragapult this turn. So do we have energy in this card? We do not. Retreat. Yeah. Okay. Knock that out. Could do that. Could do that. Ultra Ball. Okay. Candy's going okay. That's fine. Just thinking here. We can get a Weavile here. That would work. Attach. Yeah. Okay. Retreat that. Yeah, we could just get the knockout on this Badu here. That would work. Oh, maybe they can use evolution. Wait. Okay, alright. That's fine. Bosses would be great. Bosses would be amazing right about now. If we go to bosses, we can bring up that Dragapult and lock it. Or even if we got an Ultra Ball or something, we can get a Pidgeot and that would get us a bosses. Alright. Torchic. Torchic, okay. Alright, you know what we could do here? Alright. So let's put that there. So treat that. Stick Weavile active. And then we'll use Grand Tree. Let's get Dusclops out. That's fine. We're not going any more than that. That's okay. Cool. All right. Let's. We'll just use Curse Blast for the moment. Just knock out this in the active. Let's see if they bring up their Dragapult. If they do, they're probably going to regret it. But let's see. Let's see what they bring up. Maybe we can draw something that's fired. Okay, that's fine. Cool. Why did they... I don't know why they brought Dragapult up. Maybe they know something we don't. I don't know. Alright, so let's Vessel. Here, let's get rid of energy. 2 water. We need to try and maintain this lock for a little bit because we're not looking too good on the hand size at the moment in terms of what we're working with at the moment. Cool. So... yeah, interesting they brought up, maybe they didn't read the card, I don't know, maybe they didn't read Weavile. It's not very well played, so maybe they don't know what it does, I don't know. Let's see, Hail Claw. There we go. And that rescue board is not going to be doing too much at the moment. You're not retreating if you're paralyzed, unless of course you've got a switch or something like that. So we can maintain the lock for a little bit. Oh, they're playing Charizard too. Okay. So we want them to get out these big stage 2 Pokemon. And then we can just... They're much easier to take down. But, yeah, we need... Iono. Okay, interesting. Helps me out a lot, I think, because... okay, Blaziken... Oh, we're not drawing too well here. Actually, we can also evolution... and get the Pidgeot out, and we take a hit for this turn. That could be a play. Then evolution, yeah, okay. All right, let's see. We could evolution, take a hit. Yeah, well, I'm gonna try and prevent that Torchic from getting knocked out as well. Or if we draw an energy, although our energy is at the bottom of the deck now, I think, or the ones that we took. So let's see. Alright, but yeah, they've attached their rescue board to basically retreat with this Dragapult. Okay, so let's go with Weavile here, let's put that down. Let's see, we can get that. I think we take the hit, but we need to get another Torchic out, that is important. Because they can knock out Torchic with their Dragapult, and it's fine, Team Evolution. Cool. But we do really need here, let's just put that here, Seething Spirit. Now it takes the pressure off next turn. That's fine. And yeah, what do we go? We're just going with Pidgeot here, really. Nope. Yeah, so we're just going with Pidgeot. Set ourselves up for next turn. We'll take a hit. We'll take a Weavile. A Weavile will have to go down. No Combusken in deck. That's a bit unfortunate. That's fine. But we will take a Pidgeot. Cool. And that should set us up pretty nicely for the next turn. So, let's see. So, yeah, I mean, they can take a hit on the... We can take a hit on the Torchic. That's fine. Charizard, that's okay. So, yeah, so one Torchic will go down, as will the Weavile. We'll concede 2 prize cards. But the following turn, we can try and maintain the lock, or try and get the lock in. So that's what I'm hoping. So it looks like they're not playing too much in terms of switching cards as well, which is also good. That's good for us. Cool. Nice. So I think on the basis of what we were saying, if they're not playing the switching cards, what do they get into their hand? I think that we should be in pretty good shape, or in a good place. We do want to be careful as well how many prize cards we concede, because we also do need to use Dusclops to try and get the knockout, vice versa, so that's something else as well to keep in mind. So that's the Ultra Ball, that's okay. Cool. And then knockout, presumably on the Torchic as well. So yeah, probably just use Phantom Dive here. 200, knock out the Weavile, take something on the bench. That's absolutely fine. Next turn we have Pidgeot, so as long as we have Pidgeot now, we can actually start to start drawing things that we need. So the question becomes, what do we get with Pidgeot? We could get Rare Candy, and actually we do need an energy as well, right? But actually that goes to the discard pile. Do we have more water in discard? We do. That is fine. That's fine, to be expected. That's okay. So the question here becomes, do we want to risk having only one Weavile? Because we can Candy and Blaziken here. That would work. Earthen Vessel, cool. Alright, so we can Candy and Blaziken here. Or, okay, let's quick search really quick. So we have, how many Sneasels in deck? We've got one Sneasel. We've got Buddy-Buddy there, Super Rods. That is my initial thinking. We take that. Or, how many Ultra Balls do we have? We've got one Ultra Ball, 3 Buddy. We could even go with, Iono could be a play as well, to put them down. Actually, Or we just go Rare Candy into Blaziken. I think we play it safe, and we set ourselves up, and we do this. So, and then next turn we go for a push. Or next turn we get Rare Candy, get Blaziken out, and we have Weavile in hand. I think that's the best play. I think we've done that correctly. So, Dusclops in discard is a discard, so we do need Super Rod as well. That's fine. Cool. Nice. I think that's okay. Seething Spirit. Let's put that on there. And let's Hail Claw. Get the lock in. This is probably about the time you check how many bosses you've got in deck as well. So this is effectively the lock. So now we just rely on the fact that they don't play any switching cards. So next turn we'll get Weavile down. Then we need to get our second Blaziken down as well. Although we have Earthen Vessel as well, so that's also fine. So yeah, maybe next turn we get a Rare Candy, we put Weavile down. And I think we're good to go from there. I think after that we just need a Super Rod. Maybe to put back our Dusclops, and then we just get bosses and just maintain the lock. This is effectively the idea of the deck, and they'll probably just at this point probably just deck themselves out. I think they've got 14 cards in deck, and they're consistently drawing cards as well. So let's see. So yeah, next turn, if they don't retreat, and it just stays like this, the next turn we'll quick search, get a Candy, put Weavile down, and then just continue with the lock. We'll just use Seething Spirit. Put the 2 water back on Weavile, and just maintain the loop. That's what we'll do. That will take it to 210. That means we get another turn, 280. And then with 280, you've got there, so 280, so that's 40 left over, right? And that's where we bosses, and then we put the Dusclops down and knock it out on the bench, and then we boss something up like a Charizard, for example, and then we maintain the loop again, basically. That is the idea. So that's the plan in theory. Let's see how it plays out. So let's see. Presume, again, so many decks like this just run things like that. They run, as you can see, rescue boards. I don't know what their race spec is. I haven't seen the race spec yet. So yeah, and if it's not, well, I mean, Dragon Ball normally plays on Fair Stamp, I think. But yeah, you'd be surprised just like how many games you win just by locking someone with paralysis. They can't do anything. And they just scoop game after a while because they can't do anything basically. So I've already got like the next couple of turns, as I said, just like mapped out in my head. So let's see. Nice water, cool. So we'll do what we said. We'll just do this. Let's get a spirit here. Nice, stick of water here. Let's check how many bosses we've got in deck. That's why we're on the Pal Pad as well, just in case one boss is prized. So one boss there, one Pal Pad, nice. Yeah, that would make sense. Cool, so what do we need here? We need Rare Candy. There we go. Cool, alright, and then let's attach manually. So one thing that they can also do as well, which is another play that I've seen quite a lot, is bring up your Blazikens and try and stall you out that way. So that's why I like to, just from time to time, just stick an energy on there. And the next turn, if we have a, I don't think we will, but yeah, just stick an energy on there and then we just leave it on the bench. And if they bring it up, it just means that we can use double Seething Spirits and we just need one energy from hand, basically. So that's another play that they could go down the route of doing. So, or worst case scenario, we just attack with Blaziken. That's also something else that we can do. All right, so next turn is pretty crucial. Next turn we have to get Super Rod. So we get Super Rod, we put back the Dusclops, and then the following turn we get bosses. That's how that works. And if they bring up a, we have fire in discard, right? Yeah, if they bring up Blaziken and it gets stuck, we can just attack with it. It's also not a bad option. Nice, well, they conceded, more or less, I think. But yeah, it's kind of a shame that we didn't get to kind of play out a full game. But basically, you can see kind of where the tactic is here. So, as I said, what I would have done is, yeah, the next turn, get Super Rod, put Dusclops back into the deck. And then the following turn, bosses up a Charizard, and then use Dusclops to pop the back row, to pop the Dragapult, and then keep the Charizard locked. And then just repeat the cycle, basically. That's all you have to do. So, and just by not playing any kind of switching cards, just by using paralysis and just looping the paralysis, you can see how just loads of people concede because they don't know what to do against it. They don't play Tauros, they don't play Switch. They occasionally play Prime Catcher. Sometimes that happens, but even if they knock out one Pokemon, that's one item card basically, and then you just go back to the loop and things like that. So. So that is the deck that I've been testing as of late, so I think it's really good. When it sets up, it's really, really good. But let me know what you think. I will leave the link in the description box, or the link of the deck list in the description box below if you guys want to check it out and let me know what you think of this deck. But as always as well, if you do like this sort of content and you want to see some more content related to the Pokemon trading card game, then as always, hit that subscribe button and of course like the video, that would be great. But otherwise guys, there is Weavile with Blaziken EX for you. So thank you very much for watching and see you all in the next one.